Randy Moss, when you are consistently shutting down AJ Green, Julio Jones, and anytime somebody put their best in front of you, shutting them down, you don't have to play that long. I'm better than Ty Law. Yeah, what's up, Joe? You better than Ty Law at talking in this damn chat room, and you better stop before he gonna tune in and be like, Joe ain't better than me, and fuck Houston. That's what he gonna end up telling you. But welcome aboard, Joe. Thanks, bro. But and again, man, don't forget the lines is wide open. 773-797-2409. That's 773-797-2409. Ty Law is next up on Darrell Revis is number 7 in the Supreme Court of Cornerbacks in NFL history. Now, back to got another comment. Who said something? I hope he listening. Me too. I hope he listening too. I hope him and all the retired players. If you're listening, Ty, call your boy at 773-797-2409. Then I need you to be a guest on the show. We dope as hell. You dope as hell. We need you, bro. You or Darrell Reeves. Either one of y'all, man. Both of y'all from Pennsylvania. What's going on in Pennsylvania with all the quarterbacks, with all the cornerbacks and the quarterbacks? Ty Law. I mean, what's going on in Pennsylvania? It's a lot of good ball players come out of the state of Pennsylvania, man. Whatever they drinking over there, man, can I get a swig? And let me give my grandson, whenever I have one, a swig, and we're going to take over the world like Ali at 63. Now, back to the subject at hand. The term, greatest of all time. Can we stop using that term, people? Should we stop using that term? Is it a truly effective term? Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Second question this week, I must give at the top of the hour, which is in 13 minutes. The greatest of all time. Should we stop using that term, man? That's a real question to me. Because, okay, how we gonna say somebody is the greatest of all time when the rules consistently change? Y'all say LeBron, like we go to basketball, LeBron could have never survived in Jordan era. Okay, not a problem. So how can you see? What happens is y'all always kill the rest of y'all arguments with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan defeats all y'all arguments. Y'all do understand that, right? Because if LeBron couldn't take the physicality of Jordan's era, there's no way in hell Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. Because I'll just take it from Al Davis. The quarterback must go down and go down hard. That is about one Al Davis. Al Davis used to say the quarterback must go down and go down hard. Now, you can't even land on the quarterback when you sack him. If you're living the term defenseless wide receivers, if the term defenseless wide receiver was in effect, Mike Haynes wouldn't be on my list. Ty Law wouldn't be on my list. Darrell Revis, he may still be on the list, but it is a very, very good chance that those two dudes wouldn't be on my list because this is football. This is a physical sport. But see, the reason they come up with these rules goes to the corruption of all football. We're going to talk about that at some point as well. But when you say the term greatest of all time, don't we have to switch over to greatest of the era then? Because LeBron can't be the greatest of all time because back in the day, Jordan used to take a beating, and the Pistons used to do this, and the Pistons used to do that, and LeBron, he too much of a punk, and he wouldn't have been able to take it, right? That's what y'all keep telling me. Man, now you know you like the Pistons. So you know he couldn't have took that stuff that the Pistons do. That's what y'all tell me every week. That's what y'all tell me every week. And if you're brave enough, 773-797-2409, holler at your boy. But that's what y'all tell me. LeBron couldn't take it. So explain to me how Joe Montana was playing against Charles Mann in Washington. Charles Mann and Dexter Manley. One of them at least should be in the Hall of Fame. Dexter Manley, more than likely. Then, right up the road, he was playing against Randy White and Ed Too Tall Jones in Dallas. And then right up the road, he was playing against LT, Leonard Marshall, Harry Carsons and Carl Banks. Two of those guys in the Hall of Fame. Then you go to Green Bay, he was Al Harris. Then you go to Chicago, he was playing against Richard Dent, Al Harris. There's two different Al Harrises, y'all to understand. Tim Harris is in Green Bay, Al Harris is Chicago. Al Harris, Richard Dent, Steve McMichael, who should be a Hall of Famer, Dan Hampton, who's in the Hall of Fame, Mike Singateri's in the Hall of Fame, and Otis Wilson was playing against those. In his own division, he had Pat Swilling, Jesse Tuggle and that crew. Pat Swilling, and I can't think of the other two dudes' name. Sam Mills, and it's another dude. Help me out if you're in the chat room. You know who the dudes I'm talking about. Them linebackers for the Saints. I mean, the reason what I'm saying, yeah, Bruce Smith in the AFC, Neil Smith, Derek Thomas. There are countless Hall of Famers that Joe Montana had to consistently go up against, and they could beat on you and beat on you and beat on you. I didn't even mention Reggie White, Sean Jones, Seth Joyner, Jerome Brown. I didn't even mention those guys. Clive Simmons. I didn't even mention those guys. And these guys are consistently beating up on Joe Montana on a regular basis. No holds barred. The goal was to concuss him. I remember one game he got sacked 7 times and then came out in the second half, threw 3 touchdowns to win the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. One of the most vaunted. As a matter of fact, statistically, historically, the greatest defense of that era. Even though you had the Bears and the Lions, the Bears and the Giants doing that thing, the Philadelphia Eagles statistically were the greatest defense of that time. As a matter of fact, it was came out last year. They were the greatest defense of all time. And Joe Montana had to play against those guys. So explain to me how, with that much physicality, that much no holds barred, that much intent to hurt and inflict pain, how can Brady be the best? What makes you the best? That's the second question. When we talk about basketball, when we talk about the greatest of all time, why does defense never come into play? What? He that dog. That's another thing I want to talk about. That dog. Y'all talk about that dog. He got that dog in him. He got that dog. I don't like the reference and the connotation of reference in brothers about animals, but since we're doing it, what is that dog and how do you detect that dog? That's something I always wondered. Because when we talk about an assassin, that dog, he got that killer instinct. We only seem to talk about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, and other offensive guys. Why don't we talk about that dog, Allen Iverson? Why don't we talk about that dog when we talk about Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, Gary Payton, Alonzo Mourning? Are they any less intense than Kobe, Mike, and AI? Is their effect on the game any less important? Because if you're old enough to remember, Magic Johnson was taking Michael Jordan's lunch, Game 1, 1991 Finals. And what happened? You had to put that dog on him, that assassin, that demon on him, Scottie Pippen. Karl Malone was working out on the Bulls, and you had to put that dog, that assassin, that demon, that killer, Dennis Rodman on him. Michael Jordan was running roughshod against the Seattle Supersonics. Gary Payton said, put me on him. Slowed them down exponentially. They didn't win the series, but you know what? Jordan shot about 15 percentage points lower with Gary Payton on him than he did with anybody else on him. So, does that dog count then? When is it just, like Magic Johnson? Magic Johnson used to snatch your heart out your chest at will. So, is Magic Johnson any less of, quote unquote, that dog? Is he any less important? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Money in the Bank. You knew what was coming and couldn't stop it. Is he any less dog because he don't show the excitement and things of that nature? What is that dog? Those are a couple of questions I just want to ask, man. I'm throwing them out there to y'all, man. 773-797-24 now. I'm going straight classic sports show today. I'm going classic sports show today. And with that being said, man, let's get back to these picks, man. Now, the next game I want to cover is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New England Patriots. a lot of people are looking at this game sideways. They're going, hey, but we got Brady and Belichick. It's easy to say you have Brady and Belichick. They're two of the greatest ever. We've never seen anything like them. Every time they touch something, it turns to gold. You got washed up Corey Dillon, Super Bowl. Don't worry about it. We're going to take you to the Super Bowl, too. You got Big Mouth Brian Cox. That's a disturbance everywhere he go. He was a disturbance in Miami. He was a disturbance in Chicago. You send him up to New England. He ain't going to get along with Bill Belichick. Super Bowl. You got Randy Moss. Super Bowl. They go to the Super Bowl. They don't win it. LeGarrette Blount. He smokes weed. He steals on people. He's a malcontent. What are we going to do with him? We're going to win the Super Bowl in New England. So he obviously is a person who can deal. Bill Belichick, that is obviously a person who can deal with different personality types. And if you can deal with this different personality types, you can be a coach. That's the dictionary definition of the job. To mold things into the shape that you want them to be in. That's what the job calls for. So if that's what the job calls for, why are you scared that he's not going to be able to do it? So when you look at this game, you got the greatest coach. You got arguably the greatest quarterback against one of the worst quarterbacks we've seen in recent history. And going back to my run to win, throw score premise, Blake Bortles is going to be wide open. But here's the crazy part. This is why you have to look at the picture in its totality. On the surface, Blake Bortles had a better games when LeGarrette Blount didn't play last year. I let that sink in for a second for effect. He had better games when LeGarrette Blount didn't play. So a reasonable man would be able to say, AB, you said you run to win, you throw to score. Yes, I did. I did say that. That's what I said. But here's the difference. In some cases, there's an exception to every rule. And in some cases, you can elevate your game to heights that you would no otherwise wouldn't be able to do. But here's the catch: 48. You have to be able to do it consistently, and we've never seen. Only thing we've seen Blake Bortles do consistently is stink. That's all we've ever seen him do consistently. Is play bad. And I anticipate him playing bad this week because he's Blake Bortles. But with that being said, T.J. Yeldon from the University of Alabama, and they have some solid weapons on the outside, but they have a insane defense. People know that Tom Brady is statuesque. He's gonna stand in one spot. When you throw him off that spot, he'll either fold up or throw the ball away. If they can continue to keep heat pressure on him, this is gonna be an interesting game. Even though I'm saying it's going to be an interesting game, I'm going to take the lightweight out and I'm going to go ahead and go with J. Field. Because I do believe, not the beginning of the end, but I do believe the Patriots are starting to show a chink in their armor. They are starting to look like a team that is human. Because everything isn't running on track. You got Jalen Ramsey calling them out. You got the coach bickering with the best player, Tom Brady. You got Gronkowski bickering with Jalen Ramsey, and he's scared to talk because of whatever man that said. He scared him off. But at the end of the day, you just got to wonder what the hell is going on, man. What the hell is going on? Because if you knew what was going on, then you could take a chance. But I'm going to take the chance that Calais Campbell and that Saxonville defense won't take their foot off the pedal. I'm going to take the chance that Blake Bortles will just play good enough not to blow it. And I'm going to take the chance that Tom Brady is going to be a little off his game because he is 41 years old. And I keep telling y'all, sports is a young man's game. Now, that's two games. Another game is the Atlanta Falcons versus the Panthers. Now, we saw the Panthers get primarily shut down by the Dallas Cowboys last week. Now, if you're just looking at the stats, man, the Cowboys ain't nothing. You're right. They aren't that good, but they have a great defense. They have the components of a great defense. This allows them to do what they want to do defensively, and as long as Dakota does not get them a bunch of 3 and outs, they stand a chance. Now, One, you got North Turner and North.